Welcome back, ladies and gents, to Katawa Shoujo. My name is Rolando, and we are going to be continuing on from where we last left off, which was at the front of the school gate. One quick thing to mention before I continue, my expectations were, they were met on the first episode of this. Like, I didn't think that many people would actually click on the video. I would expect like 20 or 30, but by the end of the day I got to like 50-ish to about 60. And that blew me away. I'm like, okay. We'll continue on with this then. I really like this so far. So, without further ado, let us continue from where we last left off. The gate looked far too pompous for what it was. In fact, in general, it seems to do that, but this one especially so. Red bricks, black wrought iron, and gray plaster assembled into a whole that didn't feel welcoming at all. Of course, I didn't want to get stuck on thinking about the gate for too long, so I entered through it with a brisk pace that felt surprisingly good. Moving forward feels good. So, I walked towards the main building of Yamaku Academy with this brisk pace. I'm alone as my parents are taking my stuff to the dorms, and there's supposed to be someone waiting for me. The grounds are incredibly lush, filled with green. Doesn't feel like the kind of grounds a school would have, more like a park, with a clean walkway, going past trees and the smell of fresh cut grass and all other park-like things. Words like clean and hygienic pop into my mind. It makes me shudder. I shake them off, stay open-minded. Oh, shoot. I forgot, periods exist. Let me reread that. I shake them off. Stay open-minded now. It's your new life. You have to take it as it comes. That's what I tell myself. A few big buildings loom behind the leafy canopies. Too big and too many for just a school. Everything seems off. It's different from what I thought I knew about schools. It's an uncanny valley, even though I was told this was my new school. In the back of my head, it doesn't feel like one. I wonder if the feeling is real or caused by my expectations for a school for the disabled. Speaking of that, I don't see anyone else here. It's kind of eerie. Makes me wish there was somebody here, so I could anchor myself to something tangible instead of having this feeling that I stepped into another dimension. The trees. Fucking Christ. The trees hum with the wind, and the green hues flashing all around me catch my attention. It makes me think about hospitals again, how they say that the operating rooms are painted green because green is a calming color. So why am I feeling so anxious despite all this greenery? Only after I stand in front of the haughty main building, I surprise myself by realizing why the gate bothered me. It was the last chance I had to turn back, even if I had no life I could return to. But still, after entering, there was absolutely no way I could go back anymore. Feeling nervous and with this realization set in my head, I opened the front door. A tall man with bad posture notices me as I entered. We're the only people in the lobby, so it's only logical. Tall man. You must be Nikki Nakai. So you are. Excellent. I'm your homeroom and science teacher. My name is Muto. Welcome. We exchange a handshake that is neither firm nor sloppy, and he looks at his watch. The head nurse asks you for a brief check-in visit, but there's no time for that now. Oh, should I go later? Yes, afternoon is probably fine. We should get going and introduce you to the rest of the class. They're waiting already. Waiting for me? I don't really like being the center of attention, but I guess it's inevitable in a situation like this. Somehow, not knowing what is waiting for me makes me feel very nervous. Close enough, we'll go with that. Thinking of this, I almost miss what the teacher is saying. Do you want to introduce yourself to the class? Okay. Let me save here real quick. Alright, I'm back. I saved. In case I make a wrong decision, I'm gonna go back in editing. No, like, I'm gonna just jump back here and fix my wrong. Okay, so do I want to introduce myself? Normally I wouldn't. Because not a lot of people actually care enough. Unless you are someone they're familiar with, they heard of. Whatever. Normally I wouldn't, but I want to make sure that I'll be able to talk to somebody after this, so I would. Sure, I mean, isn't that normal? Of course, but not everyone likes to be the center of attention. Read my mind exactly. I'm probably one of those people, but I guess I should be the one to give it the first impression. Right, but there's no problem. Let's go then. My heart is pounding in my chest, and it keeps me thinking about my condition as I follow the teacher upstairs. By the way, I woke up not too long ago, so I'm still not I'm way out of it right now. The third door down the third floor corridor is marked as the classroom for class 3-3. Muto opens the door and enters. It's that painting. Alright, cool. I'm back. I found a thing that I need to use for thumbnails. I hesitate for a split second at the door, freezing on the spot. Get a grip. It is a big step, I know that. But there isn't any point to worrying so much about it. At least not this soon. Oh my god, look at all this. Feels like a regular school, honestly. I follow the teacher into the classroom and look around, partially so I won't have to meet the curious gazes of my new classmates. It's pretty spacious. The ceiling is unusually high, and there's a lot of space left over around in between the desks. An entire wall taken up by blackboards, and the high old-fashioned windows only make it seem larger. The students' desks are just standard wooden desks with a shelf underneath for books and wooden chairs with metal frames. Simple and efficient. Really? I don't see that. It's probably like closer for them because I don't really see it. I stop walking in front of the classroom and face the other students. They all look normal, like students in any other school, but then why would they be here? They're probably like me and I have something wrong. They're probably like me and have something wrong with them. Only it's just not immediately obvious. Then I notice that one of the girls seems to be missing a thumb on her right hand, and it's a little jarring. Despite the neutral tendency to listen when someone's talking to you, I tune out the teacher's speech halfway through while he introduces me to the class. I notice a flash of dark hair and see that someone is looking at me. The girl with really long straight hair that it's pretty eye-catching. As she sees me looking back at her, she covers her face with her hands as if it will make her invisible. There was one boy with a cane leaning against the lockers at the rear of the class. It's weird seeing someone so young with a cane. Another girl seems to be making some weird hand motions. Sign language. She peers at me over the rims of her glasses, then goes back to whatever she's doing. She's kind of cute, so is the cheery looking girl with pink hair sitting next to her. She's really hard to miss. I don't know how I didn't notice her the moment I walked in. Please welcome our new classmates. He claps his hands and so does everyone else, except for one girl in the first row who has only one hand. I cringe a little, but hide it by bowing in thanks for the applause I did not deserve. A collective silence tells me that I should open my mouth now. So, I'm Hisao Nakai. And after that, my hobbies are reading and soccer, and I hope to get along with everyone, even though I'm a new student. And after that, being so boring. This is exactly like every self-introduction ever. I should say something more exciting. I end up saying nothing and the teacher picks up from there. Everyone seems to be satisfied, even with what little I said. A few girls are whispering to each other, throwing glances at me. Could have been worse. Could have been guys giving me the evil eye, seeing me as competition. Like hell that would ever happen. I listen to the teacher as he drones about getting along while letting my gaze sweep across the classroom. Everyone seems to be listening to him intently, and when he's done, they clap their hands together, which feels like a weird thing to do. The first row girl claps on this round, with one her hand against her other wrist that ends in a bandage stump. It makes me feel a little bad. We're going to be doing some group work today, so that will give you a chance to talk with everyone. Is that alright with you? Yeah, that's fine by me. That's good. You can work with Hakamichi. She is the class rep. She can explain anything you might want to know, and who else would be able to do that better, right? How could I know? The teacher passes out the day's assignments and announces that we will be working in groups of 3. It hits me that I don't know who Hakamichi is. Slow. The teacher seems to catch my helpless expression. Alright, Hakamichi is right there. Shizune Hakamichi. As he calls out her name, the cute bubbly looking girl with bright pink hair with gold eyes waves her hand at me. I take a seat next to her by the window. I guess you're Hakamichi, right? It's nice to meet you. Okay, now she's laughing. I think she's laughing at me. I'm caught off guard by her laughter. It's nice to meet you too, but... Oh, I just noticed this. It said Shizune, but now they they crossed it out, and now they replaced it with Misha. Oh, that's interesting. I never noticed that. It's nice to meet you too, but I'm not Hakamichi. I'm Misha. This is Hakamichi. Shi-chan. Giggling at Misha points to the girl next to her, the one I saw using sign language before. Jesus, this is pretty fucking loud. Let me fix that. Alright, this works. Giggling at Misha points to the girl next to her, the one I saw using sign language before. It looks like she's been staring at me this whole time. She nods once nonchalantly to show that she acknowledges my presence, but only barely. She has short yet carefully, neatly brushed hair and a pair of oval-shaped glasses, balanced on the tip of her a dainty nose, and dark blue eyes that seem to alternate every few seconds between analytical and slightly bored. It's nice to meet you. Okay. She immediately looks at Misha, who smiles and makes a few quick gestures with her hands. Akamichi nods and makes a few gestures of her own. I start to wonder if the teacher was messing with me, saying things like, "You'll be able to talk to people," and "Who better to explain things to you?" I can see you're a little confused, right? Right? But I understand why you would think I was Shichan. Shichan is deaf, so I'm the person who translates things back and forth for her. Oh shit. I scrolled by accident. You saw nothing. I'm an interpreter. She says it's nice to meet you too. Oh, I'm like an interpreter. Whatever. Same thing. I guess it's the same thing. You're the new student, aren't you? Well, Shichan, of course, he is. If he wasn't, he would have... Shichan, of course he is. If he wasn't, he wouldn't have been standing up for... He would have been standing up for no reason, right? Right? He seems like a very interesting person, doesn't he? We knew there was going to be a new student, but we didn't know you would be here today, so soon. Hichan, right? Hichan? Yep, it fits, doesn't it? Did I say it out loud? It's just a surprise. I never liked that nickname. Wait, you've been called that before? I don't really see how. If it fits. You look just like I imagined. Yeah, you look just like a Hichan. I wonder why everyone seems to think so. Hakamichi taps her fingers on the desk to get Misha's attention. They gesture back and forth to each other excitedly, their hands a blur. Misha seems a little overwhelmed. Sorry about that. Shichan wants you to know that this is a class rep. So if there's anything you need to know, you can feel free to ask. Do you like the school so far? We can show you around a little if you haven't had the time to walk around and familiarize yourself with it. Misha stumbles with the hard word for a bit, making it stick out in her otherwise fluid translation. Thanks, that would be pretty helpful. Yeah, I just kind of came straight to class today. She's not looking happy, but Misha is. That's no good. You should always try to learn as much as you can about where you're going before you go there. Not just with school either. Always. Even if it's a trip to the convenience store. Really, Shichan? Oh, is that what she's telling her? Learn about where you're going? I guess I didn't bother to do that. Or just didn't care enough to do so. I didn't look forward to this, even if I committed myself to going along with it half-assedly. But anyway, I don't say anything, and Misha signs something that ends in a shrug. What was that? What was that? Seems It seems like it was about me. I feel like slumping over in my seat. Both of them are smiling. But that shrug hit me unexpectedly deeply. You look down, are you okay? Don't take it the wrong way, please. I hate it when people are afraid to ask questions. That's how people learn things, by asking. This is what Shizune is saying. Asking for help is perfectly normal, as much as needing help. Stop looking like you just failed a test. Alright. And another thing, you don't have to call Shi-chan something so formal like Hakimichi or class rep all the time. Just call her Shi-chan. Okay, maybe that's too casual. Maybe Shizune would be more appropriate. Yep, Shizune is fine. Okay, that would be a lot easier for me. I feel a lot more at ease. Both of them seem so friendly. So I feel like an idiot for being so apprehensive earlier. Especially about Shizune, who I assume would be all business. Well, she still seems like that, just less so, I guess. Okay, now she's scowling at me. Never mind. Yeah. Oh, right. We haven't even touched the assignment. We should start work now. And Shi-chan will get mad. The assignment is also kind of long, so we should start now if we want to finish it before the end of class. Yeah, that too. Shizune glares at the two of us impatiently. I don't need to know sign language to understand that. Okay, I get the message. After class, we can take a walk around the grounds together. It's a nice day today, alright? The assignment is actually very challenging to get through, combining aspects of being both difficult and unnecessarily long. Alright, the recording has been going on for about 30 minutes, and I have some stuff to cut out. So, I'll have to end this part here. I will see you all in the next part of Katawa Shoujo. Take care, everybody.
Never